Hi there. Um, Back again from last time. I'm sorry it's been so long. I went away to Buenos Aires to work on some um, big paintings. But now I'm home. It's super hot here in central Cordova. Whew. Um, and I just wanted to go back to where we were, which was looking at complementary colors and just playing. And you can see absolutely not a masterpiece. Just playing around and putting the colors next to each other and not really allowing them to blend. Just having fun, and I hope you had a little bit of fun doing that. And I hope you're not sick of your colors because we're going to carry on with them. But yeah, and then we're going to keep this because at a later time we're going to rip it up and use it for something else. So just turn the page and we're going to start something new with our complementary colors. So what I'd like to do is now I'd like to see what happens when we mix them, because mixing complementary colors is one of the ways, well, first of creating a completely different color and also a way of sort of dulling them. So I'm going to start with this tealy turquoisey color, and I'm going to put it in here, nice long, like that. I'm just going to put that in, and maybe I'll use my thumb and smooze it around a little. There we go. Nice bit of turquoise. And then I'm going to bring that reddy color. I'm going to start on this side. And so here we go. I can see, there they are. Now I'm going to bring the red in, and you can see where they mix. It gets to this really nice dark, almost a purpley color. I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to bring the turquoise into here. We can see what happens. I might bring a bit more turquoise over top of this one. And you can see that here in the middle, we've created this really beautiful, at least I love it, sort of purpley, burgundy, deep red color. And as we get further and further closer to the place where it's just pure red, it gets like, oh, it's a bit dirty, sorry. It gets lighter and lighter to where we get to the pure red, and here, darker and darker. See how it gets to this really dark, there, look how it's almost a dark blue, and then we get right to where the pure turquoise was. So see, with just two colors, we've just now created a whole beautiful array of very dark tones. And here we've just dulled the red down a little, and here we've dulled the turquoise down a little. Now what I want to do now is take our white and just come along the bottom and see what happens when we add some light in. We're going to smudge it with our finger too. Just bring it in here along the bottom. And again, really just enjoy. I mean, that's a nice thing about oil pastels. They just feel so nice. I just love the way it's like, it's kind of like working with sticks of butter. Here, and then let's use our clean finger and work our way into that and see what happens here, where we start to get the mixed colors. And see how it's a little bit grayish? We get a little bit of a gray color. Now these lovely grays that you get from mixing complementary colors are just the most wonderful thing when you start working with bigger pieces, landscapes, portraits, any of those things, abstract pieces. These grays that are created by mixing the complementary colors are just wonderful. And one of the things I'd love it if you have time to do is to look through the work of the Impressionists, and you'll see how often they use complementary colors. Van Gogh in particular loves his oranges and his blues and his purples and yellows, and you'll see that he does some tones where the yellow's kind of muted down, and that's probably because he added purple. And there's sometimes where his purple's a little muted, he's added some yellows. But then he's also put them pure next to each other. So we have our previous work where we put the complementary colors next to each other, And then we have this where we blended it all. So now what I want to do, of course, is just fill up this page with playing. Playing again, no goal in mind other than experimenting and letting the colors speak to you and just enjoying these. I mean, I just think they're so yummy. I don't know. I have a thing about colors. It's like a taste, like a really delicious chocolate mousse. Anyway, I know I'm a little bit odd occasionally. So here I'm gonna just come in. I'm not doing anything in particular. I'm just putting some blue on my page, and I'm gonna bring it up here. I'm just playing around, and not. In this stage, well, actually any stage of doing art, if you can just relax and allow yourself to play, you'll be amazed at how much more you enjoy the process and actually how much more wonderful your artwork turns out. It really does. It's magic. Even when you have a sort of serious commission and you're trying to do something really photorealistic, if you do it in a playful manner, it has a life. It has a life that isn't there if you're kind of uptight about it. So here we go. I'm going to just bring some of my red into there. Just enjoy that. And then bring some pure red out to the sides. There we go. Let's put some pure red here on this side. There. And just like that. And then I'm going to bring my white. And I'm going to use the white to blend things a little bit to see what happens when I do that. Bring it down. See this really nice gray right there? There, and bring here some pinks. And I'm going to use my finger and pick up a little bit of the turquoisey color and just pull it into the reds. And see how it dulls that red down and kind of deepens it, because sometimes you don't want the full punch of a pure color. You want to have it, you just want to mute it a little bit. And one of the best ways to do that is by using complementary colors. You can also use black, and I'm not completely averse to black, but when I was teaching, I always hid the black in my office in a locked drawer, because black takes over really easily, and you can create something that is akin to black by mixing complementary colors. So if you're doing a painting or a drawing and you need something that's black in their dark shadow, I really recommend using complementary colors mixed in their pure form and finding that dark shadow color that you want by doing it that way rather than squeezing or using a... Do I even have a black pastel? I do, but anyway, I'm not going to use it. Okay. Here we go. And I'm just having fun, really playing with these complementary colors. There we go. Oh, I just think they're so lovely. And, probably because it's so warm too, they are really soft right now. It's down. So here, you just want to dull that turquoise down, just bring a little bit of the red into it. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? I just love the colors that start happening. Now, the nice thing about the oil pastels is that this is quite a thin layer, I can start to put more on top. You see how I can put the white on top there? And I can just come in and I can do some shapes. And maybe I can do some little dots. Because for right now, we don't really care how our piece turns out. We're just going to have some fun and just see this. I don't know if you like pointillism or not, but imagine some of those huge paintings that are done. You have to get into a really repetitive mood. But if if you're in the right mood, I tell you, this is quite wonderful. All right, here we go. So, there, and then, oh, I forgot my spoon again. I'm going to go quickly grab my spoon and we'll scratch off a bit and see how it looks. My spoon, there we go. So let's see what happens if we scratch in. This is also quite nice. You see how taking some of that off, it really lightens it up. And you get back to almost the pure color there. And then I have this nice little bit of goop that I can reuse somewhere down here. And it's kind of nice to do that. And so what I'd love you to do is just to spend your time filling this page up with different combinations of your complementary color, and using a bit of white and using something to scratch off, and fill the whole page up and really, really enjoy yourself. Enjoy how those colors interact with each other and what goes on, and get to know how much of each one till you get the color that you want. Yeah, and play. And then, you know what I suggest, because we have a little bit more time, and because of course hopefully I will be able to do this again next week and not wait so long, but then I suggest you take out a different set of complementaries and just play with those two. So let's do a yellow and a purple. They're not my favorite, I'll be honest. They're colors that I like, but I would never wear either of them. I wish I could, because especially yellow I find so lovely. But anyway, it's good to play with colors that don't necessarily resonate with you so well, because you find something out about them, and you also, it's an interesting thing to experience and really feel the slight challenge that colors can create in you if you're open to it and you allow yourself to really listen to them. So I think I'm going to start with the light color, just because the dirtiness of the purple can get in there pretty quickly. So here, look. Oh, look how yellow is a super active color. It just likes to jump around. It's very friendly, and it's lively, and it's cheerful, and I think it really makes you want to move. You know, if you think about places like McDonald's where they don't want you to sit around for a long time, there's a lot of yellow going on. And, oops, you know, I did dirty thing there. Here we go, look at that. Whew. Just how springy it is. It is a really happy color, I have to say. Okay, maybe I do like yellow after all. It's super happy and cheerful. Oh boy, oh boy. I think maybe if you're having a gray day, which you might be having in Vancouver, seeing as it's October, almost November, maybe doing some yellow will be just the thing you need. Here we go. Now, I'm going to carefully put purple in because the darker colors quickly overwhelm the lighter colors. I'm just going to put a tiny bit in, just a little bit there. And before I get to, see how they just, when they're right next to each other without mixing, they become so strong. They really have a conversation with each other. Okay, and then let's try mixing them a little bit. See what happens. So you get this kind of, you see what happens there? I'll put my, there we go. A little bit of purple into that yellow, sort of, it dulls it. It makes it a little bit dirty. So you have to be careful that you don't sort of get a mud pile. And sometimes you want a mud pile. And let's put a little bit of yellow into this purple and see what happens. It also dulls the purple down. So I have a little more. I put some purple right in there. Whoa. Okay, here's my other hand. But you also get some very nice, see those nice tones there? Right there. Some grays. Yeah, I'll mix that. Let's put a little bit more yellow over top of that and see what we get. It's quite a mucky colour, but it is really quite lovely too. I'll just get my whole hand going. There we go. Alright, let's see what happens when we bring the white in. I have to clean the white because the white has turquoise and red on it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Ooh, see what a grey that is? Look at that. It's quite a nice grey. Now, I'm quite fond of using grey, seeing as I was living on the West Coast for so long, where it's often grey, and something very attractive about those misty days. Here we go, but look at that. You can use the white to mix it all together. And again, remember, don't get anxious about it looking terrible if it looks terrible. It's not a competition, and it's really just about experiencing and feeling these things out for right now. And again, we'll save these because we're going to rip them up and use them for something later. And use a spoon or whatever, something you have to scrape through. And there, look, it's like you've created these little rays of light. Oh, it's very nice here when you get down through that sort of muddy color and you pick up the light yellow. So there, look at that. All right, so I'm going to leave you this week with your little bit of homework of playing with the complementary colors. So you have the red and the green are complementary, the blue and the orange, and the yellow and the purple are the complementary colors. And I hope you really enjoy yourself and have a lot of fun and get to know that. Ooh, look at that, very muddy color. Oh, my goodness. And you get to learn a bit about yourself and to really enjoy the colors.